Coming in about 7,070 pounds as you see it here today. This is the open range Lite 275 RLS here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This gives us that big opposing slide living room and island kitchen, sort of like fifth wheel experience, but it also gives us an awesome outside kitchen and entertainment center that couples campers just don't usually have. Now there's a really common hiccup in this business. When you get opposing slides and an island, pretty much usually means you get pinched off. Usually I'll say something like, well, you can get to the bathroom and the bedroom. Well, that's pretty normal, but that usually means you can't get to much. But this 275 RLS open range here at Haylett RV, it's got the hot sauce in the right places. So you notice, if you had to, you could get over here to this side of the dinette in transit. That is possible. And then as we sneak around the corner, you might notice it is designed so that you maintain access to the refrigerator, both inside and outside, in transit. That is a really big deal feature in a floor plan that otherwise would lack pretty much any and all travel accessibility. Open range, they nailed it. The thing with open range is there's nothing else quite like them on the market. At a glance, it's easy to miss, but there are some either industry exclusive or class exclusive features going on here I want to point out. And the first is an industry exclusive carpetless floor flush slide out. They've got a patent on this. No one else has figured out a different way to do it. So right now, and for many years, they've been the only ones that do have it. Note that you don't have that big step up into the slide out. It's easy to make a slide out carpetless if you step up into it, but that's not happening here. So if you are sharing a meal with some friends and maybe you spill something or drop something next to that table right there, no big deal. Easy to clean up, just like everything else. In fact, the entire RV is carpetless. Another really, I think, critical standout feature is that this is the first, and to my knowledge, is still the only lightweight trailer in the industry with a quiet cooling air conditioning system like a big fifth wheel. What's also cool is they have a standard 15,000 BTU air conditioner on these. You don't have to upgrade those. Really, we haven't done like any upgrades to this, and that's kind of a neat open rangey thing. They build them the way that people are really looking for them. You know, if something was optional and like 9 out of 10 people were ordering it, they just made it standard, and that allows them to improve their quality through repetition, but also improve their cost controls because it's easier to parts manage now. You can also see they just put a ton of lights into this thing, and it's about to flash a little bit, so if you're epileptic, please be careful. You can see that they have a really aggressive lighting package going on in here. I love that. I just really love it. Plus, of course, you've got little accent lights above all the seating. Now, every window here is going to open for airflow. There's tons of windows. They all open for airflow, and they have blackout, like pleated shades on them. So if you really want to blot out the sun here, you can. On what I call Boardwalk and Park Place, directly across from the entertainment center, you've got a no neck wrecker theater seat setup. But what's kind of cool here is this also has heat, massage, and little accent lights below. And those lights are very cool at night. If you want to turn the lights off and just dim it down in here a little bit and watch a movie, but still see where you're going, the little amber accent lights below that seating really help that. I also like the fact that there's cup holders, so I don't have to get up and down because I drink a lot of fluids. I'm constantly up and down. I'm just one of those people. And the central armrest does have some remote control storage, which is kind of cool. Now back here, both sides of this sofa have side stands with household outlets. There's storage below them, and both of those stands have sealed edge thermofoil countertops. So even the area that's not the solid surface counter in the kitchen, that we'll talk more about later, even that still has some kind of upgrade and dressing to it. But of course, one of the other benefits of our sofa back here is that this is a big trifold sofa for guests, whether they're adults or kids alike. That can fold out. You got room for a couple adults there. And what's cool is if you do have adult guests, it's still CPAP friendly because those side stands have those household outlets. But check this out. You can still kick your feet up on the theater seat, and you can still fully recline one of the chairs. So you could potentially have, like let's say your grandpa and grandma, you could have your adult children on the hide bed in the back, and they can throw one of their kids, hopefully they lie them down, not throw them, on the theater seat over here. Or you could have 2 or 3 grandkids, or however it works. The fact is, it maintains some pretty good guest sleeping capacity in an RV that's obviously designed primarily for couples. It stays functional for families. And speaking of families, not all of your kids are human, which sounds creepy, but what I mean is, sometimes we got our four-legged little furry friends, or little dogs and cats and whatnot. And that's another neat thing about this. Not only is it carpetless, but you got these handy little pet dishes right here, in what I like to call Fido friendly. So this is a very pet-friendly brand. You have no floor vents for heating. They're all cabinet ducted. You've got the little dishes. We have a carpetless floor flush slide out. Everything on this is as pet-friendly as anything can possibly be. There are a couple brands that do some of these things, but no other brand does all of the things that I just showed you to make an RV friendly for your pets. Pretty darn cool. Now, we've already talked about the entertainment, how it's directly across from your theater seating, but as we scan down below, you see we have a remote control electric heating fireplace, so you can get some bonus heat in the RV without burning up your propane, although you can just use a remote control to give it the neat little LED visuals to make it look like those logs are burning, even though there's no heat actually going on. So even in summertime, you can still use that and still make it look and feel pretty cool. So, great entertainment, great pet friendliness, great guest sleeping capacity. What about the kitchen? The kitchen also gets the job done well. Right here you've got like a little, you could call it a coffee bar, a little entry bureau stand, the extra overhead cabinet space. You've got all kinds of drawers below. But note those easy reach appliance outlets. You've got two of them right there. You have two more right on the face of the island. So we're up to four. And then if you peek under this overhead cabinet, you'll find number 5. So there are power outlets all over this kitchen. I don't care what kind of appliances you have somewhere to put them, whether it's a coffee maker, a blender, a griddle, or something. Now, next to that entertainment center, we've got ourselves a big pantry. You might note, it doesn't go all the way down to the floor, but that doesn't really bother me. That is your outside kitchen and entertainment that we'll see later. And it just means that you don't have to get on your hands and knees to try to get to that storage. I don't think most people want to get on their hands and knees and when you're trying to prepare food anyway, you know? So instead the storage is up here where it's logically, easily accessible. It makes sense. Now in the Lite series, we have solid surface kitchen countertops, whereas in the Ultralite we have a sealed edge counter everywhere. Now it's the island and the kitchen that are the solid surface. So those sofa side stands, the little coffee bar over here, that is still a sealed edge thermofoil countertop. So there's no T-molding going on anywhere in there. One of the other differences between the Lite and the Ultralite is what they do here on the island. You can see how you've got a high-rise sprayer faucet. They both do that. But you might notice that the sink covers are a little different. We got a pair of like bamboo chef-grade cutting board style covers. And if you lift those out of there, you see one of the other differences between the Ultra and the Lite. And that is the one basin extra large stainless farm sink versus the Ultralite, which has a stainless sink, but it's a 2-basin sink. Now down below, you can see once again, they just didn't waste an opportunity for storage. Big place right there for a wastebasket if need be, but also plenty of room for like big pots and pans. One other thing I want to point out here in the living room is the freestanding table and chairs over there. It's nice that you have a table and chairs in this very couples-oriented setup because it has a very fifth wheel sort of look and feel. But there's a couple neat little details that are very easily missed on this critter. It's a little bit of what I call a destination dining desk. So obviously that top flips up and there's a little storage pocket below, which is cool. But you also have an extension leaf over here. And that means that if we take a quick second to flip this down, you've got plenty of room now for 4 adults. So instead of those chairs having to be squished right next to each other, you can very easily grab one of these chairs, scoot it over, and because there's no big level exchange between the slide and the main floor, it is a true, comfortable 4-adult dining experience. And the way that they got this bedroom and bathroom to really play nice with one another is awesome. It's just genius design. So we start with this 3-foot by 30-inch shower, so plenty big for an adult. You can see how we've got the skylight mounted all the way to the sidewall to really maximize your headroom. That, in conjunction with the vaulted ceiling here, makes this tall person friendly. I can stand in there, no sweat. I'm over 6 foot. So we've got sliding glass doors, not like a common camper curtain or anything like that. And remember, this is a ventless flooring system. So you never have to worry about accidentally spilling something down into a floor vent. And that is a porcelain foot flush stool, by the way. But over here, you can see we've actually got decent cabinet and drawer space, which a lot of bathrooms and RVs really lack. It gives this bathroom a great little spot for a wastebasket, which again, just you don't usually get in travel trailers. And how about that drawer space? When have you ever been in a travel trailer and said, there's too many drawers in this bathroom, I hate it? I don't think you ever will. Now, above the drawers, we've got great counter space, and again, it's a sealed edge waterproof stuff, but take a note of that sink. It's stainless, just like the kitchen. They don't cut the corners just because we leave our primary kitchen space. And I like the double vanity up top. That alone gives us plenty of storage. But you might notice how you've got this big square corner looking at us over here. Why is that sticking out in this bathroom? Why didn't they make the shower bigger, you ask? The answer is pretty simple. They realized that the bathroom was already big enough. And just like nobody complains about drawers in a bathroom, nobody ever complains about a giant bonus closet in the bedroom. But what's cool is because it's just a closet that's already existing within the confines of the floor plan, it means that this RV is not longer, heavier, more expensive because they did not need to add an extra slide out to gain this storage space. And then, as a bonus feature, if you peek around the corner in here, you might see a little sticker on that wall. That is indicating where you could put a dryer vent because that closet is designed to be a combo washer-dryer prepped closet. So if what you're looking for is like, listen, I want that big dual slide living space of a fifth wheel, but I don't have enough vehicle or I don't have enough campsite space for one of those giant 35 to 40 foot trailers, well, congratulations. You can basically get all the same benefits here, but it's something that's 7,000 pounds and is potentially half-ton towable. And that means, because we have the closet over here, we don't have to lose a window for a closet slide. And that means we also gain the benefit of a full overhead cabinet with extra individual reading lights. Those side stands are not just kind of sitting there, like exposed paneling. They actually have the same sealed edge countertop material on top of them. You can see how we have outlets against the headboard, which makes this supremely CPAP friendly. And you might notice how both sides of the bed have those outlets and bonus drawers so that each person has not only plenty of hanging space, but a place to put, maybe some socks and underwear and a handy little laundry chute to handle yesterday's clothes so that they're not constantly piling up inside the RV. Couple that with the fact that we have a standard 60 by 80 residential queen bed that is easily lifted to get to the storage below. Even with just my left hand, you can see that we have plywood base, double struts, and a completely separated compartment from inside to outside, so your storage is never mingling with one another. When we're inside the RV, the more unique, standout, and exclusive features, they're very easy to see. Like you can walk right in and go, oh yeah, there's one of those things, like the carpetless slide thing. But when we're outside, it's actually very easy to miss a couple of the things that they're doing here. And one of those is something that's way under the skin, and that is the standard thermal package that they have on the open range lights and ultralights. This was the first lightweight trailer to actually be tested and proven for cold camp sort of usage. It will maintain its cabin temperature and prevent its tanks from freezing for up to 5 hours at 0 degrees. Now, I threw the 5-hour caveat on there, and a lot of people go, well, only 5 hours? Think about this, guys. A lot of times I've noticed, and it sounds silly, but when I say it out loud, people go, oh yeah. When people hear 0 degrees, they relate 0 degrees to freezing. Remember that freezing starts at 32. So this thing has to get past freezing, get down to 0, and then start a 5-hour clock before you have to worry at all. That's pretty impressive. So, if it's chilly today and it freezes tonight, it could frankly hard freeze. As long as the temperature comes back up even a little bit tomorrow, you're going to be in the clear. And that's one of the cooler things about these open range lights and ultralights. And before we jump to the back of the RV, I did want to take a minute to look down here. Not just at these good looking aluminum wheels, but what's between them. That Equiflex shock dampening suspension system. That is something that a lot of RV manufacturers have historically included on RVs, but have since let go the way of the buffalo. Because a lot of brands feel that this is extra money and value that a customer can't see and rarely appreciates. So that's kind of just one of those good indicators that this is made not just to look good, but to perform well, to tow nicely, and to stay in good shape, because obviously the less stress that's getting transferred into the chassis, into the structure, means the longer this RV is going to hold up and the less maintenance it's going to require. One of the differences between the open range Ultralite and the Lite that we're looking at is the Ultralite gains frameless windows on your sidewalls, although you will still maintain sliding windows on the slide end walls, both for airflow and to prevent you from accidentally damaging that thing if you, close the slide up. Down here, we have a simple but effective little miniature docking station. It's a place to keep your water hookup and your cable or satellite TV inputs all kind of in one place. And you see that little extra, quick sort of swap hose thing on the back there. That's very handy as both an outside shower, just a little, courtesy cleanup kind of station. Little detail things too, like the fact that they use a little bit better bumper cap to keep, a lot of people like to put their sewer hose in the rear bumper. Some people keep them in totes, but a lot of people still keep it in the bumpers. Well, the last thing you want is for that bumper cap to go flying off in transit and, your hose starts snaking its way out of there while you're whipping down the road at 60+ miles an hour. If that ever happens and a bunch of people are waving at you, they're not just being friendly. They're trying to go, hey, goofball, you've got a sewer hose hanging out of your RV. Although, that being said, hopefully that never happens to you. The patio side of this thing, though, is just packed with opportunities for fun. They did everything right over here. It starts right at the back. Right next to that rear stabilizer jack, you might notice there's an outside gas grill hookup. That way you could actually have two different sort of outside cookers going, because this would be made for like a bumper mount grill or a free floating grill or whatever. And then for the cooktop in the outside kitchen, you've got a hookup back there. So you have two separate outside hookups so that you're not always fighting for a plug. Now over here they did something neat. It's like an outdoor kitchen and entertainment system, because this is all mounted. This is actually right behind the fireplace on the left side over here. Now you could use it. You could easily add some shelves in there and make it like outside storage, but you could also mount a TV in there, as that little backer sticker indicates, and have outside TV hookups. Now over here in the outside mini kitchen, I mean, like everything Open Range does, they add a little bit of eye appeal to it, like that little 2-burner stovetop. It's just, it looks better. It's a Capital Grill style, Capital brand 2-burner stovetop. Very popular high-end features that are going into a lot of things now. You notice the extra little drawer outside too. Nobody ever complains about having extra drawers. And that extra refrigerator out here means this floor plan has about 10 cubic foot of cold storage. That's pretty good. Now we've got galvanized rolled steel counters out here. And you might also notice you've got that water quick connect. That is for one of those removable blue coily kind of hoses, which it could act like a campsite sink, a campsite shower. It could do a little bit of anything and everything. And you'll notice not just the pass-through doors, but even these outside kitchen entertainment doors have slam latches and magnet holdbacks. So it's just simpler, easier, and also note the fact that we have dual power awnings. They didn't shove one big power awning over the top of the super slide. Instead, they split the difference to give you maximum shaded patio space. Now, naturally, I left the outside lighting off, but both of these do have outside lighting, and I'm starting to get rained on, so pardon me. How about that little pocket umbrella action? Go, go, gadget umbrella! Woohoo! We have frameless windows, which look absolutely amazing. They tilt open, so on a rainy day like this, you could actually get some good airflow. You have aluminum plank entry steps. So on a day like this, when my feet are wet, I don't slip and slide as I could on steel steps. These speakers outside in these easy tilt awnings, by the way, are mounted right in the awning arms themselves. So if you're out here, chances are you'll have the patio open. And if you have the patio open, the speakers are pointed down. Someone's going to ask, yeah, but the speakers point out when the awning's closed. And that's true, but typically, you're not going to be outside on your patio area listening to music if it's crappy weather and your awning's not out. So it makes sense. It does what it needs to, where it needs to. And you might have heard me mention these are easy tilt awnings. I've got one hand on the umbrella, so I can't do it right now, but literally 2 fingers on that awning arm will tilt that to give it some rainy day runoff. Now, just like those baggage or the outside kitchen doors, we've got magnet holdbacks here, and you will notice this is a full true pass-through with full-size access doors on both sides. Gives you plenty of room for a portable prep or a portable solar panel, and wouldn't you know it, it's prepped for it right next to that. Now, one other neat little detail thing, while we're up here on the corner, you see this different trim. They're not using the same plastic cap screw trim as almost every other brand out there. They're spending a little bit more money on a aluminum extrusion that wraps better around those corners. They do that front and rear. They do that on all the open range laminated trailers, and it's just a better, stronger joining of the sidewall with the front wall or the rear wall or whatever wall you might be looking at on that given day. Now, I'm doing something a little foolish here. I'm monkeying around on the roof of this thing in the rain, but one of the reasons I'm doing it is because the different roof membrane on open range RVs kind of gives me the confidence to do so. At a glance, it's white. It looks like the rubberized or TPO or EPDM or whatever words or letters you want to apply to it roofing that you find on nearly every RV, but it's not the same. Open Range is one of the very few brands that actually uses a PVC-based roof membrane, and it comes with some very significant benefits. Now, it's also more expensive, but nothing about an Open Range is necessarily the cheapest option. And you know, if you're trying to find the cheapest trailer out there, I don't know why you're watching an Open Range video in the first place. The idea, I think, behind one of these is you get what you pay for, and you're getting a little more here. So PVC roof membrane, first of all, it's whiter, it's brighter, it reflects more heat from the sun, so there's a positive benefit. Secondly, it doesn't require any specific upkeep itself to maintain its warranty. Now, what I did not say is this is a maintenance-free roof. I am not a snake oil salesman. You still have seals. You still have things you as the owner need to maintain. Just like there's no such thing as a maintenance-free luxury car. I don't care how well it's built, you still got stuff to do to it. But the fact is you have less to do on an open range roof. Kind of like that metal extrusion corners I told you about. There's just less to maintain on an open range. You spend more time camping, less time doing sweat equity. Another thing here is that it is far more resistant to weathering. It just tends to hold up a little bit better, stronger. Now, while I'm up here, there's a couple other things I wanted to talk about that you can't see. And that is the fact that we are walking on plywood roof decking, which is an exceptionally rare thing. And really about the only time you're going to find that is on the cousin to the Open Range, the Jayco products. They both have pretty much the exact same roof construction. Jayco calls it Magnum Truss roofing, but a little known fact is that Open Range roof is exactly the same. They use the same trusses, the same roof decking, they have the same weight ratings as everything else, and that's a very uncommon feature. Another thing you can't see while you're up here, like every RV has some level of insulated roof. Usually it's some kind of like R9 or 11 or 12 value, depending on whoever. Now, nobody has an R52 and R40 roof, by the way. Get that crap out of your head. But what Open Range does have is a built-in standard radiant barrier layer in the roof and the belly of these, so that whether you're hot or cold camping, it will stay and remain more efficient. Now, pardon my footprints up here, but one of the things I can use that to segue into is the fact that we clean every RV from Haylett RV, every new RV that we sell, every single one of these things, we go through and we clean at no additional charge. We do not have hidden dealer fees here at Haylett RV. Every single one of these things, the price tag that you get from Haylett RV, it includes getting it here, getting it cleaned. We show you how it works. We have your propane and your batteries taken care of. You even get water and electric surge protectors from us. And we do all that at no additional charge, because that's just kind of how things should be. So, whether it's hitching pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between, guys, we do it all. Well, no, we don't do hidden dealer fees, but we do everything else. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.